Early qualifying exit incredibly painful. Hamilton Lewis. Hamilton says it was incredibly painful to be knocked out in the first session of qualifying and line up 16th for the Belgian Grand Prix. The seven-time champion, who added that his performance was not acceptable, set a time just 0.009 seconds slower than teammate Charles Leclerc in the session, but had it deleted for exceeding track limits at the high-speed Ray de Lyon corner. "It's incredibly painful," said Hamilton, who was also knocked out in the first session of qualifying for Saturday's sprint race, after running wide on one lap and a spin on his second. "It's turning out to be a pretty bad weekend so far. I made a mistake, so I've got to look internal, and I've got to apologize to my team because that is just unacceptable to be out in both Q1s. It's a very poor performance for myself." Hamilton said he would review the incident with the stewards to try to understand what had happened. "Everyone takes that curb. It's probably the furthest I've been over it," he said. The error was the same as one made by McLaren's Oscar Piastri in the second part of sprint qualifying on Friday, but the Australian had time for another run and managed to progress. Ferrari introduced a new rear suspension design for this weekend, which was aimed at allowing them to run the car lower to create more downforce without running into problems wearing out the underbody too much, as well as improving drivability and feel. Hamilton, who has yet to score a podium finish since joining Ferrari this season, has sounded lukewarm about the changes so far this weekend. After qualifying, he said, "I was the same as I was for the rest of the weekend. We made some changes and the car didn't feel terrible. Just really sorry for the team, all the hard work on the filming test day we did, and all the preparation, and we come here and don't go through Q1. It's not acceptable. We are trying to do the best with what we have, and obviously everyone is working flat out back at the factory. We have had upgrades, but I think that's probably it for the rest of the year. And I think the first focus is now, back at the factory at least, to focus on next year's car." This season has been a tricky one. Leclerc was more positive about the car, after admitting to surprising himself by qualifying ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen behind the McLarens. Leclerc was 0.338 secs behind pole winner Lando Norris and just 0.003 secs ahead of Verstappen, whose last lap was compromised by an error out of the first corner. Leclerc said, "It's an upgrade and it's a step in the right direction, but we are still speaking about very fine differences over the whole lap."